Matthew 5:10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Good morning. It's March 31st, 2020. I'm Pastor Rusty, and this is your daily Inspo. So let's think about that. Blessed are those that are persecuted for righteousness' sake. I've known Christians throughout my life that talk about being persecuted because they carried their Bible and people made fun of them, or they wore a cross around their neck and people picked on them, and I really wouldn't call that persecution. It's an interesting thing how people want to rage against darkness and want to rage against folks who don't know Jesus or who aren't on the path. It's interesting. We forget about our own sin, but we want to judge the sin in others. And the Bible plainly says, get the beam out of your eye so you can help your brother with the mote that's in his, or the speck of wood that's in his. We are angry a lot of times, just mad. It's interesting because, Jesus said and taught that we should be moved with compassion. To be persecuted for righteousness' sake is to live the right way and to be accused of it. Not because you don't smoke and you don't chew and you don't go with the girls who do, but because you live for Christ. People aren't going to understand that. It's going to be weird for them, especially in a world that celebrates self over anybody else. You got to get yours. You've got to take care of me and mine, right? And that's not the teaching of Christ. And throughout the Sermon on the Mount, he's teaching people, this is what my kingdom looks like. When I fill your life with love and hope and joy and compassion, and this is what it's going to look like. There's going to be merciful people. There's going to be people who hunger and thirst after righteousness. There's all these things we've been looking at in the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus is saying, hey, this is what it looks like when I'm your king, King Jesus. So why do we rage? Why do we push? Why do we kick? We isolate and separate. We categorize people. Well, this person's into that, or this person believes this, and I can't fellowship with that person. We let some of the craziest things become a test of fellowship, when the truth of the matter is, none of us knows everything. As we grow and as we're illuminated by the Word of God in our life, we begin to get rid of things and add things. And the last thing we should be doing is looking around and saying, look how much better than you I am. That's not righteousness. Righteousness is to live according to the right way, the way of God, the way of Jesus. And so if we're living the way of Jesus, we need to be studying those red words, don't we? And we need to be putting those into play in our life. Jesus said, I've come that they may have life and they may have it to the full. That's now. Full life, fulfilled life, righteous life. Righteousness brings fulfillment because we're lining up into the mold that God has created for us. It's not something that we can't achieve. We achieve that through Christ, and then we strive and we work and we grow. And as we do that, sure, there's going to be persecution. Jesus has persecuted me. Why wouldn't he persecute you? It's a good thing. It's a good thing to want the best for others, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to mend the wounds of those that are injured and hurt, take care of the sick. Visit the widows and the orphans. James says, the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. So let's let go of our anger. Let's strive for righteousness. Let's strive to love one another. Let's strive to help, to encourage, to strengthen. We're in this together. And if we're in a relationship and we're picking one another up when we stumble and helping and being there and being a support, then we're doing things of God. And that's something you can do this day. This is the day the Lord hath made. Rejoice and be glad in it. I'm Pastor Rusty. I'll see you tomorrow.